What's up everyone? So today's video I want to talk about something a little bit different. I know a lot of times we end up talking about modifying your vehicle or performance gains or just different things that you can do to your vehicle and showing you guys how to get some of that stuff done. But in today's video I want to switch topics slightly and kind of just take a break from the mods, and I want to talk about actually affording a vehicle. So I see a lot of people asking me, now, how do you afford this, or what do you do for work, or how can you like buy all this stuff, or how can you afford multiple vehicles, whatever the question is, or whatever version of the question is. It's not like, I'm not trying to say that I have like the most expensive stuff or the coolest stuff, or I have everything, but I feel like at my age I have a pretty decent amount of cars and mods and stuff like that, and I'm pretty happy where I'm at. But I just want to talk to you a little bit about how you can get there. And besides, you guys probably seen I have this Viper, I have the truck, I have a bunch, everything's modified, I've done all mods, I've put performance parts on both of them. I own a house and stuff, so I mean there's lots of stuff going on, and you guys can see a lift, like there's lots of stuff that I've accomplished at a fairly young age anyways. But I only make like a modest income. I don't make anything crazy, but it's just about being smart with your money. So I wish somebody had told me this kind of advice earlier, but growing up, I'm sure most of you guys are in the same boat or can relate to this. Growing up, you get a car, you get a vehicle, whether it's a car, truck, whatever, and you end up putting a bunch of money into it. You end up sinking a ton of money into it. I'm guilty of it. I know all my friends were guilty of it. We had, we were in high school, we all had Hondas because that was the thing back when I was growing up. And everybody was just sinking all their paychecks into performance parts for these Hondas. We all had different ones, Hondas, Integras, Acuras, whatever, but we had all different cars of that nature. And we would literally like go in groups on the weekends to the performance shop and just drop a ton of money. And that was like our thing. It was fun. I mean, I guess it kept us out of trouble for the most part, but certain kind of trouble at least. But yeah, we ended up spending a lot of money on that stuff. And if somebody had have just sat there and said, like everybody always tells you, oh, don't spend your money, but they never really tell you why or a plan of action to kind of achieve what you want. Because I remember being younger and you would be looking at a more expensive car, like maybe a Goal or your dream car, what have you, but you look at it and you look at the price of it and you think, I can never afford that. How does that person afford that? How are they paying for that car? Maybe their parents gave them money, or maybe they're rich, or whatever assumptions they want to make about them. But if somebody had have just told me, and this is what I'm telling you, don't spend all of your money on that vehicle, because when you spend all your money on that vehicle, if you actually do the math, and sometimes it's kind of upsetting, but if you do the math and you look at how much you paid for that vehicle and how much money you sunk into it, you can, 9 times out of 10, you can afford a much better car. So had you just enjoyed that vehicle for what it was, and didn't really do anything to it, you could probably, move on, save up, and purchase another vehicle. So I did that with lots of vehicles. I sunk tons of money into them. And there's a certain way you can do it too, which I kind of want to save that topic for a different video, because you guys probably are laughing right now thinking I'm a hypocrite because I spend a ton of money on a vehicle when I could follow my own advice and just sell it and get a better car or truck. True, but I enjoy the process, and not only that, but I acquire the parts for cheap. So I don't usually buy brand new parts, so I don't take the hit on them. All the performance parts I usually buy secondhand, and I can sell them for pretty much what I paid for it. So I don't really lose anything. I get the enjoyment out of it. I get to make this channel and share it with you guys. So that's my stance on the whole thing. But as far as, let's get back to affording some of these cars. So all the vehicles that I have are paid for. Everything's paid for. So I have the luxury of spending some money on the side on performance parts. But as far as having the money to afford different things, number one advice I could give you guys, again, it's not like I'm an old man and have all the experience or the knowledge or wisdom of the world, but the advice that I can share is take a look at your monthly expenditures and try to really budget yourself and look at your monthly payments and what you're spending on a monthly basis. So for me, I don't usually eat out. Like I cook all my own meals, I pack my own lunch, so that stuff there, that saves me, quite a bit of money per month. Stuff that's reoccurring, like cell phone bills or, cable TV bills, like I try to minimize all that stuff, get it to an affordable amount, not cheap out on it, but at the same time, don't overpay. So make sure that everything's good that way, keep your credit up. And yeah, just really look at what your expenses are every month. I know some people like to go on trips and spend their money that way, and it's all personal preference at the end of the day, but all I'm saying is, whatever income you make, if you take a look at that income, don't spend, take a look and see what you're spending on a monthly basis, because a lot of times people make a certain amount and they enjoy a certain lifestyle, and then they'll maybe get a raise or a promotion and they'll make a little bit more, and their spending habits just follow that, and they end up not saving anything. They end up stuck in that rut, and they end up, I don't want to say they're not happy, but they can't afford the things that they want to afford. So with that being said, really look at what your monthly bills are, what you're spending, and see if you can minimize those payments as much as possible. Another thing I want to mention too is a lot of the vehicles, whether it's your dream vehicle or whatnot, try to plan to purchase that when it's already depreciated by somebody else. Like, let somebody else take the hit. So all these vehicles that I've purchased, I've actually never purchased a brand new vehicle, believe it or not. So I mean, I'd like to share with you guys that I have that type of money or type of cash flow to just drop on a brand new vehicle and not care about the depreciation when it rolls off the lot. But all the vehicles that I've purchased are pretty much they've fallen as far as depreciation. This car I purchased when it was almost at its rock bottom, and it's probably going to gain value, so I'm not losing anything with this thing just sitting here doing nothing with, aside from the monthly, insurance and tags and all that stuff. But I mean, the actual value of the vehicle, I'm not losing anything with it sitting there. As for the truck, I think a few people have asked me what I've paid for the truck, the 2014 Ram. I bought that 2 years ago, so that was when it's a 2014. I bought it in 2016, the end of 2016, so it was only 2 years old. It had higher miles on it. I bought it with it was like 88,000 miles on it. So I knew what I was getting into. I've had one before. I know they run for a while. I know I can do my own maintenance, so I really wasn't worried about it, and it's still, running like a clock. Even with the supercharger, it's got 114,000 miles on it now. But I bought that truck for 21 grand 2 years ago. So you guys know what they're worth. They're worth quite a bit. So especially a fully loaded, fully optioned sport truck and all the gizmos and all the stuff that comes along with that. But let me know what you guys think, and be sure to ask a question in the comments below on any of this stuff. I kind of want to get into it because it's kind of a refreshing topic for me to talk about. I want you guys to succeed and be able to purchase the stuff that you guys want in life, and I'd be happy to share as much information as I can. Again, not trying to sound conceited, not that I know everything or have all the answers, but I feel like I've been able to purchase some of the things that I've wanted, and I can afford them now. But it's not because I make a ton of money. It's actually because I'm just smart with the money that I have. So I just want to share that advice with you guys, and maybe I can dig into a little bit deeper if you guys want, and share a little bit more on how that's done. But I want to save the modding process for a separate video. So I want to tell you guys how I'm able to mod a lot of this stuff without spending a ton of money or breaking the bank, and how I can afford to mod this Viper and mod the truck and just keep going with stuff, and keep this channel active, and I'm funding everything myself. So sharing that whole process on how I'm able to afford all this stuff and keep it rolling. But if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and again, make sure you ask any questions that you're curious about in the comments below, and I'm going to try to address them in the next video. Might do a subsequent video to this, and then also we'll do a separate video on mods and how to afford mods that you're interested in without breaking the bank, and keep them within your budget. So yeah, hope you guys liked it. Make sure to subscribe and check out the other videos on the channel that we already have on all the mods that we've done to the car, the truck, everything's on here. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that bell notification so you're notified of the latest and next videos, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.